Hello and welcome to a brand new series that I'm going to try to start on Doodle Empires. Yesterday, I think they did their new update where they wiped all their saves and basically reinvented their saving system. I don't really know why. I'm assuming it's just for the future plans to make it easier. I did think they would add more stuff in this update. I think they tried to fix bug fixes and that was about it, so that was a bit meh. But I did want to do this video like 5 days ago, but I saw that all your saves would get reset from previous updates. So I was like, there's no point me starting this series if I'm going to have to restart it. So we're starting it now. And I've changed the settings slightly, although I don't know how, like, when these things are turned on to 0, they still happen, and it annoys me. I don't know if that's fixed in this new version, but I've turned the expands all up, turned down normal split, small split is still the same, and I feel that's a bit more realistic. Union, I think, is turned down slightly. New Nation is turned up. These are all at 0. This is turned down. Got rid of Age of Unity, and the age length is a bit longer. Yeah, let's go ahead and start our world. And I don't really know where to start, people. Hold on, let me go ahead and select a location to start. Okay, we're starting in the west. Should we start in Ireland? Okay, we're gonna create Ireland. Ireland. There we go. We have Ireland. Wow, you can really claim you can claim so much now. Well, we're gonna see the Irish Empire form as they take Scotland and Wales, taking Celtic land, and they also go ahead and take all of Iceland for some reason. And then they connect their lands up in the north. And they also take Cornwall. And they actually go ahead and take a bit of Brittany. And are they finally done? Okay, here we go. I think I'm going to try to do some cities, but I don't know how many cities I'll do. Here we go, we got Dublin. Now we need Glasgow, which I actually don't know where it is. No, I'm going to put Edinburgh. I'm just going to say Edinburgh's in the middle right here. Spell it. Alexa, how do you spell Edinburgh?
Spell Edinburgh.
I spelled it right, it's fine. Okay, and then I can put Cardiff. I don't know where Cardiff is. Okay, we're gonna put Cardiff in the south of Wales. I don't know. Cardiff. Is that how you spell Cardiff? I don't know. Anyway, here are 3 cities. I'm not gonna add any more because there's not really a need. And I don't know any Icelandic cities. And I don't know any cities over here. Yeah. If we select a nation, actually we have to select this nation. And what's our next card gonna be? They're gonna be splitting. And I'm probably just going to release Iceland, which I know is probably quite a boring one to release. Actually, no, I'm going to release Scotland. There we go, that's what we're going to do. We're going to see Scotland come out in the north as they rebel, and they take over a tiny bit of Ireland, apparently. And I'm going to give them this land, but I'm probably not going to give them any more land. So I'm just going to give them that. And if we X, and then Scotland is going to split. And I guess we're going to see what is going on. Why is my PC so laggy? I think I'm gonna bring the country of York down here. Is York even here? I don't know. But we now have the York Empire. Hold on, let me pull out Google Maps real quick and label York on the map. Okay, so it turns out York is like right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and place it on the map. York is barely in this country. But I didn't know any other cities up north. But yeah, there we go. We have York. Okay, country we're gonna get is Scotland. Okay, Scotland is small expanded. I think we're actually going to create a Scottish Empire as Scotland goes over here and, take some Norwegian land rather than expanding into York, as I kind of don't want to delete all the countries straight away. We then see Ireland large expand, and we actually go ahead and see Ireland take over the rest of England as well as some land from York. However, they don't take their capital. And we just see them go ahead and take Normandy. However, we do see them launch an invasion up here, and they take over a pretty good portion of Scotland in the north down here, and they even make a naval landing and take over their whole colony, and we still have more land. I think I'm just going to continue pushing them into France as we see Ireland becomes pretty big, by far the biggest country. Next we see Scotland small expand, and I'm just going to give them their land back. Also, can I just ask, why does anyone know why this game is so goddamn laggy? Like, genuinely, this is, like, what can I close? I guess I can close Discord. I don't need Discord, do I? And I actually can't close Google. But, like, why is this game so laggy? And why is my PC so laggy every time? Like, we barely have any nations. It's just pixels on a map. We see York split into 2. And this seems a bit dramatic, if you ask me. I think I might actually be able to actually just not have that happen. Okay, there we go. We see Ireland get a new leader. I don't know what this means. Okay. Oh, what is going on? We're in the age of division, really? Okay, we don't see York split. Hold on. We see York go ahead and expand its territories down south. I will pick a smaller brush though. We see it expand down here and take over this part of England. And it does take where London would be as York expands its land. It also goes up north, taking some land away from Scotland. We also see North go ahead and take over here. Is this Calais? No, Dover? I don't know. This part of northern France over here. We see them form this nice border. And we also see the creation of London. I don't know, where's London? Like here. And we see London come to the world stage. And going over to Scotland, we see Scotland medium expand, and they instantly take back some of their land, while they continue to push Ireland out of their colony, as they do pretty successfully, and they even begin an invasion over here into Iceland, trying to take Iceland for themselves, as they might manage to actually take all of Iceland. Oh, they do. Oh, and we also have Scotland in Greenland, because I misclicked. And then we see Scotland split, and I think it's only appropriate to have Iceland exist. We see Iceland take over all of Iceland and this part of Greenland, and then we stop there. And next we see Scotland small expand, and I think I'm going to push Scotland down in to York, but I'm mainly going to continue them over here as they continue to expand their Norwegian land, and they even take part of northern Denmark. And then Ireland large expands, and we see Ireland kick York out of southern England, and they take over all of their French territory. And actually, you know what? We even see all of York defeated and Scotland pushed back. We also see that Scotland is invaded as Edinburgh is surrounded on all sides. And let me quickly convert York into a small city, as it is no longer a capital. And actually, I don't know. I mean, I should use this. I mean, that should be a capital for Scotland, but like, I don't know if I can. I think I'm only going to use the small cities just because of how small the map is. But you should be able to tell what the capital is. Although if people want me to use the big cities, I will. It just makes it harder for me to do stuff if there's big cities around. But going over to Ireland, we see a large expand for Ireland, where we see them completely kick out Scotland, and hopefully they can take all their territories. Or this is going to be quite awkward. I think that's everything. Yeah, we basically just see Ireland take over all of Scotland, including all of their possessions. And there we go, we now have this giant Irish Empire, which I'm actually going to call the Irish Empire. As there's only 2 countries left on this map. And we see a small split, and I'm going to see Greenland up here. I'm adding Greenland. Greenland. You know what, I'll make it green. See, Greenland exists, and I'm not going to split it anymore. There you go. And we see a new nation forming. Probably... Okay, I think I'm going to make Rome. Rome's a classic. There we go, we see the formation of Rome with the capital in Rome, which I don't actually know where Rome is, but I'm just think it's so it's somewhere along this coastline, but I can't be asked to figure out where. And then we also see the creation of over here. I want to say Athens. Is Athens here? Athens. We see the creation of Athens. And should I add any more major cities? I don't really know anymore. There's the capital of Albania here that begins with the T, but I forgot. But anyway, going over to Greenland, we see Greenland expand. And we're actually going to see the formation of a Greenland country. As you know, they begin their expansion. Going over to Rome, we see Rome actually split. And good thing I made Athens, because now we have Greece. And then we see the formation of a Greek country over here. There you go, that's what I'm going to put for Greece. Going over to Greenland, we see Greenland small split. And no, we don't see Greenland split, actually, because it's too small. Going over to Rome, we see a new nation. And I think I would probably make Sweden. We see some Scottish people create the country of Sweden, as a bunch of people settle over here because they don't want to be under the Irish. There we go. We have a pretty thick Sweden with the capital of Stockholm, which is going to be here. There we go. I shall probably also add Oslo in that. I don't know where Oslo is. I'm going to put it here. I do know where Copenhagen is, though. Pretty sure Copenhagen's like on one of these islands, so I'm just going to put it in between them all. Actually, that's annoying me. Hold on. I'm going to put Copenhagen in the middle of this island, because I'm assuming that's where it is. But there we go. Over here, we should probably also add Paris. I don't know. I don't actually know. I'm assuming Paris is like on this river, right? That would make the most sense. But there we go. We have Paris there. And going over to Greece, we see Greece medium expand, and I'm going to make them take over Greece. And we actually see them take over a good portion of Anatolia, as Greece is becoming quite big. We see Sweden unionize with someone, and no, we don't. There's no one to unionize with. Hello? Okay, well, Sweden, you get to unite with yourself. There you go. And we see Sweden medium expand. I think I'm going to push them over. Actually, what happened? Oh, don't tell me I have these stupid bug. Ugh. Okay, they really need to get rid of this new leader thing, because it's actually this thing pisses me off, because the game is so laggy and buggy. Okay, we see Rome large expand. There we go. We see them connect over their Adriatic coastline over here, and we actually see Rome go ahead and take over some land in Spain, as you know, they're getting, and they also take over some land in Tunisia, so they become pretty thick. We see over here that we see a new nation. Maybe I'll make Morocco. I'll make a nice purple Morocco. We see the creation of Morocco. I was going to make Spain and Portugal, but that's boring. So now we're going to have Morocco, and we're going to see, well, not really Muslim, but you know, we're going to see Moroccan Spain, which is pretty interesting. Although if you're Spanish watching this, I apologize, because this is probably really triggering for you. But anyway, we go over to here, and we see that Rabat, the capital of Morocco, is created. And are there any major cities down here? No, I can't be asked to put any major cities in the south of Spain. I will if Spain rebels. But going over to Iceland, we see Iceland large expand. There's only really one place for them to go. We see Iceland invade Greenland, and they should be able to take over all of it. Yeah, we see the eradication of Greenland as Iceland continues their claiming land further down south. Going back over to Iceland, we see another large expand, and I'm just going to continue giving more and more of Greenland over to Iceland. And maybe they can get enough power out of this wasteland up here to fight Ireland. Maybe, who knows? Going over to Morocco, we see Morocco unite. No, I don't feel like Morocco would unite with anyone. There's not enough countries for unions yet. Going over to Morocco, we see them small expand. I think I'll just make them stick to the coastline. Oh, no, we don't, apparently, because this game is buggy. Now we see Morocco found a religion, and I'm going to make them Muslim. I know, very stereotypical, but Crimea River. Okay, going over to Greece, we see Greece large expand. First of all, they gain Cyprus, and they continue not only their conquests into Anatolia and expansion, but we do see them push up into Albania, as well as in Bulgaria, as they follow. Is this the Danube River? I don't know. But we see them follow modern-day Bulgarian borders, as well as they push up into modern-day Serbia. They also take some more land from Rome up here. And we also see Egypt go ahead and take over, not Egypt, we see Greece go ahead and take over Egypt as they push down the Nile. And it's kind of giving Western versus Eastern Rome, which is pretty funny. Who's having their origin diverge? Hello. We see Ireland go ahead and adopt the Muslim religion. And why did I call it Muslim? Oh my god, what am I doing? Oh my god, it's called Islam. Oh my god, I look like an idiot. I should look like an idiot. Help! Let me change to... Okay, guess there's a Muslim religion now. It's not Islam. And we go ahead and see the formation of Greenland up here, which has to be dark green. There we go. Greenland's come back to life over here, but I'm not going to bother to put a city. There we go. We see the return of Greenland over there. And the Irish are doing a large expand. I think I'm actually going to send them in to Iceland as they actually launch an invasion over here and take over the majority of eastern Iceland. However, they don't take the whole country. We see down here that they mainly focus their efforts in expanding their European territories as they connect all of their land up here and push deeper into Europe. Over to Iceland, we see them small expand as we see them fight back against the Irish, trying to push them out. However, they are unsuccessful. And then we see Ireland small expand, and instead of going back into Iceland, we see them continue to expand their European land. Continuing with Ireland, we see them continue to expand their territories in Europe as they begin an invasion into Sweden. Going over to Ireland once again. Okay, finally, we're going over to Greenland. We see Greenland large expand, and with their large expand, they just fight back the Irish quite a bit. However, they do go ahead and expand some land over here. Sweden, we see Sweden small expand and fight back against the Irish, and they do actually manage to take Oslo from the Irish, which annoys the Irish. Then Morocco, we see Morocco continue to expand as they expand along the coastline up here. Oh, okay, we're back to Morocco on accident. Going over to Morocco again, we see them continue to expand as they take southern Portugal and continue to push into Iberia. Greenland medium expands as it continues to liberate itself from the cruel Icelandic oppressors. Going back over to Morocco, we see them continue to expand on the coastline as we see them push further down over here. We see Greece medium expand as they continue to take over more and more of Turkey as they push down the coastline, taking over the whole of the eastern Mediterranean. Rome small expands as they expand near African land. Ireland medium expands as it goes straight back into Sweden, taking over Oslo and the majority of the Swedish coast. Going over to Iceland, we see a brand new nation form. And I'm probably going to make a Romania. We see the formation of a Romanian country over here as we see Greater Romania, which is like a blob. There you go, this is the greatest Romania's ever been. There we go, we now have Fat Romania. Then I need to put in some major cities. First of all, I'll put here, and it's going to be called Constantinople. Just because it's Greece. Hold on, I need to put more major cities down. Stop trying to make me go to a country. We see over here that Bucharest, I don't know how to say it, is here. And do we have any other major cities? I wonder if we have like Belgrade. We definitely see over here that like Sophia's like here. Actually, probably a bit more to the right. And we probably see over here that like Ankara's like here. You know what? I might as well add Albania here with Tirana over here. We see the Irish medium expand as they continue to push into Sweden, threatening the capital. Yeah, so it looks like Sweden is not hanging on too well. And we go ahead and see Sweden split as... what do I make? Oh, isn't there like an area up here? Hold on. Yes, Sapmi. There we go, that's what I'm going to call this country. Though I know this probably got accents in it, but like, whatever. There we go, we have Sapmi up here, up in the north. There we go. Don't even know if that's where it is, but, you know, that's something. We see Morocco small expand, as I think I'm going to try and make them finish off the majority of the Iberian border. As we won't be able to, but basically all of Iberia is now claimed by 3 powers. We go ahead and see them large expand, as we see them take over the rest of this land and actually kick Rome out and take this island. As they continue to push up into Iberia, but they also push out their land over here. But they do go ahead and invade Rome in Tunisia. We see Rome actually small split, as I guess I might as well make Tunisia out of this. Maybe if Tunisia gets cool enough, I'll call it Carthage, but not for now. We actually do see Tunisia take over Sicily as well. So maybe this could be called Carthage, but yeah, we just have our Tunisia here, and I'm assuming Tunis is around here. And then next we go ahead and see Morocco split, as I think I'm going to bring Portugal to life. Although I can't really give it its normal color. Like, I guess I could do a really dark green. Here we go. We see Portugal over here. We see a pretty big Portugal. I'm gonna stop it there. There we go. And up here, Sweden. We see a brand new nation. I'm gonna make Poland. We see the formation of a Poland over here. We see the formation of a pretty nice and big Poland over here in the east, as I need to label Warsaw on the map, which is probably somewhere around here. No, these need to be all capitals, don't they? But what about the country names? The country's name, oh, the countries are also all capitals. Oh, so I need to put these as capitals. We see Romania split, and I think I'm going to bring Moldova to life over here. I'll probably do that as a red. Not much red on this map, I don't think. We see Moldova come to life. Please let me finish this. Oh, we see Moldova with a rogue, like 5 rogue pixels. As we see this capital, which I will not try and pronounce. Yeah, well, Chisinau. There we go, Chisinau over there. And we see Greenland medium expand, as hopefully they'll be finally able to kick these rude Icelandic people off their area. However, I don't think they will be able to, as Iceland still holds on. And then, oh, we see Greece large expand, as they basically consolidate the whole coastline over here, as they continue to push into areas over here. And they even make a landing up over here in Crimea, as they launch their invasion into both Rome and into Romania, as well as Moldova, apparently. And we're looking at a very nice and chunky Greece, which could be confused with the Byzantine Empire, but it's not. It's Greece. It's the Greek Empire. And we instantly see Romania bite back over here, as they also reinvade Moldova, but don't take it all, and now Moldova looks really weird. And actually, we're going to call this the Greek Empire. They've been promoted to the Greek Empire, because we also have the Irish Empire over here, and we just have Rome, because Rome isn't really an empire. Oh, okay, we're back on Greece by accident. Well, we see a repeat as Greece pushes back into here, as well as they also expand their land over here in Ukraine, as they almost take the whole of the Black Sea. We see Sweden finally push back against the Irish, although not much. Back over to Greece again, we see them re-push in to Romania, as they also take over the rest of Moldova. Next, we see Portugal large expand, as we see Portugal launch its reclamation of basically the entire continent, as we now have a thick Portugal that cannot be confused for Iberia or Spain, as is actually all Portugal. And it feels weird for Portugal to be like I don't really know why Portugal and Spain weren't like Portugal looks so much smaller than Spain. So I have no idea how Spain didn't take over the whole land and form its own continent. Oh, we see Sapmi large expand. We're just going to see them go ahead and take over this land up here. Good thing they're hill dwellers, otherwise it would be much harder to take land. The Irish are mountaineers? What? That doesn't make any sense. That's weird. We go ahead and see Romania medium expand, as they take back Moldova and push up against the Greek. We see the Greek actually split for once, and I think I'm going to bring Egypt to the stage. See a nice blue Egypt down here as Egypt appears and takes over a pretty good portion of land from the Greeks. I'm going to give them up to... We see here that Tunisia wants to unite with someone. Will they unite with someone? I don't think they'd unite with anyone. So I'm going to remove that. We see the Greeks small expand as... Never mind, apparently, because the game glitched. We see the Egypt large expands as they expand their territory as they turn into like a Red Sea empire as they push further down the coast. However, they do go ahead and steal Cyprus away from the Greeks as they push up against the Greeks. Now welcome to the Age of Division as we see Greece split and probably make way for a Crimean state. It feels probably the most likely thing to break away. And there we go, we see the creation of a Crimea, which actually I'll give them all this land. There we go, we now have a Crimean Empire. Well, not Crimean Empire, but then we see Morocco. I guess I'll make Algeria split. We see the creation of an Algeria over here. There we go. As Algeria actually goes ahead and takes these islands from Morocco, which is a pain. The Greenland small expand as they finally kick Iceland off. Please, 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 yes! And then we see Greenland continue to expand their territory. Although, like, they're probably like one of the biggest countries on this map. Can we see? Yeah, 2,700. The second biggest country on the map. And if we look at this, look how far Greece was huge. Now Egypt is basically the same size as Greece, which is pretty funny. We see Crimea large expand. We're actually going to see a pretty big Crimea. Not to be confused with Egypt, as we see Crimea basically just expand its land. As maybe it will try and become a Black Sea Empire, as its capital is Sevastopol. Let's check on it spell. That's not how you spell it. Sevastopol. There we go. And next we're going over to Ireland, where we see Ireland medium expand. As we see them try and finish off Sweden up here, as they do take the capital, although they will not be able to take the whole country. Then we see another split in Greece, as I think I'm just going to give birth to Libya. As we basically see that all of Africa is free. Africa has somehow managed to get off in this world, as we have 5 African countries, which is pretty nice to see for once. And then we see Morocco splits, and I'm probably going to give southern Spain over here. I don't know what this area of Spain would be called. Hold on, we're going to do areas of Spain. Images. Murica. Is that really the region? Oh my god, no. We see the creation of Murica. There we go. An actual region over here. As it does go ahead and take the Strait of... what's the strait called? I mean, there's Gibraltar, but is it the Strait of Gibraltar? Or is that just some... I don't know. But we do see Murica over here, as we have the Murican Empire. We see a new nation form. There's not many spots left in Europe. We do go ahead and see probably a Finland, which I will make a very light pink. And there we go. We now see... Oh my god, I did not mean to take land from Sweden. We see the creation of a Finnish country, which does actually have Estonia. Going over to Rome, we see another new nation, as we are running out of spot over here. But I will go ahead and create a Russia, which should be a nice... Russia should be a nice blue. We see the creation of a pretty big Russia here, and Moscow will be here for my sakes, as yeah, it's just there. We see a small split in Algeria, as we're going to see these 3 islands break away, but I don't know what they're called. Spanish island names. With separation of the Balearic Islands over here. There we go. our smallest country. Let's see up here, the Sapmi does not split because, I don't know, I'm running out of country names. We see up here that Algeria doesn't split. Stop splitting. Can we be done with the age division, please? We see that Greece actually small expands and they go take back Cyprus and push back against Egypt, as they also push back Romania out of Bulgaria. And they actually make a landing over here in Libya. We see another new nation. So I've run out of space in Europe and we're going to have to go somewhere else. I think I'm going to begin the creation of Florida. Yep, we're going over here. It's actually a country in my What If Civilization Started in America series. And we see the creation of Florida. And we'll see Florida take over all of Cuba, because that was actually one of their first possessions. In terms of Florida, we see them expand even more. We see them take even more of the Caribbean, including all of Hispaniola and Jamaica, as they continue to push their land this way. And in my Wixo, they actually stopped here, north, and they just wrapped around and took over like all of Mexico, all of Central America, and even are now down here in the series. In terms of Sweden, we do not see Sweden split again because Sweden has no land. We go ahead and see that Egypt actually splits. As am I going to make a Sinai country? I'm not going to do Israel or Palestine to start any conflict, but we'll just see the Sinai become a country. As they actually take over all of the Egyptian coastline over here. And there we go. Is there a city in Sinai? I don't think so. Not a super big one. But you know, whatever. See Morocco expand their land over here, and they actually knock out these islands. We see Greenland split into two, as it's actually big enough. Eastern Greenland. We see the creation of Eastern Greenland over here, well, in the east. And, you know, there's nothing more to it. It's just Eastern Greenland. There we go. You see the Morocco splits. Morocco can't really split. It's run out of places to split. I'm not going to make it split. You see the Florida splits, as we're going to see the creation of... I'll choose the island of Hispaniola, which is not spelled right, but no, whatever. There we go, we see the creation of the Hispaniolan Empire. See Eastern Greenland small expands, trying to be the real Greenland, expanding into Greenland. We see that Portugal actually has a small split, as is this the Basque state up in the north? It's the creation of this Basque state, which I think is actually in the wrong location. And I'm an idiot. We see Portugal immediately expands and wipe this ugly country off the map, thankfully, and they push back into their lands over here. We see the Irish Empire actually splits for the first time. We have our two options. We can either see a France come to life, which probably would make more sense, or I'm actually going to see, you know, this area over here come to life, which I wonder what they'd be called. We're gonna go ahead and see the creation of the Kalmar Union, as Ireland basically loses all of its Nordic land, or at least I hope. So I'm actually going to start up here. I mean, it's a split, so it should be half the country, but we should go ahead and see the nice splitting of Denmark, and there we go. We now have the Nordic, not the Nordic Union, the Kalmar Union, with its country up over here, with its capital in Denmark. And we're ending on round 100, so we have 2 more turns to go. And we see that this country splits, but no, it doesn't split. And for our final turn, we see the Morocco. No, we don't have a final turn because Morocco doesn't split. And there we go. That is what our European map looks like after 100 turns. And if we check sides, I'm going to say that Greece is... I mean, this is what? 1,755, 2,300, 1,02778, and I'm pretty sure Greece is the biggest country on this map, which it's pretty nice to see. Honorable mentions do go. I mean, the New Calamine Union Ireland definitely was the biggest country this whole time until the last turn. It's pretty fun. We do see a pretty nice Crimea over here. Basically, all of Africa is not owned by European powers except this part here, and technically this little land over here. But we do see a nice Tunisia beating up Rome, and we did see a pretty pathetic performance from Rome. I was wondering if we'd get a nice Roman Empire, but instead we've got a nice Greek Empire over here that wants to control all of Egypt and this land over here, as well as this land up here, which would be nice to see it reclaim in the future. But that's going to be it for this Doodle Empires thing, as yeah, hope you enjoyed.